Hello and welcome, everyone. I'm super excited to be here with you tonight and to share with you some of the top strategies I've been using not only in my own business, but with my clients to get more clients in as little time as 30 days and to propel your business forward to 6 figures a year. So as I go through our presentation today, if you have any questions at all, please feel free to post them either in the chat box or the question area, and I will be happy to answer them at the end. All right, so let's get this party started. I'm going to share my screen with you and start our presentation. Okay, so my name is Hannah Manjad. A little bit about myself. I have a professional background in financial services and fiscal analysis, as well as real estate. And I worked in those arenas for about 6 years. And at that point, I realized I really loved working with small businesses. While I really adored working with individuals, small businesses was really where my passion was at. And I really wanted to spend more of my time working with them, developing a marketing and a business strategy that worked for their business. There wasn't anything cookie cutter about what I wanted to do. I really wanted to get to know my clients and develop something that worked for them, where they could be successful and not only see their dream of a successful, flourishing business come true, but also of their dream lifestyle to come true. So I am here to not only help build successful businesses, but also dream lifestyles, whatever that might be. And you know, it's different for everyone. For me, I really love traveling the world, and it's one of the reasons why I love working online, working virtually. Some people want to quit their day job and have a successful business so they can afford to spend more time home with their children, or they just want to live a healthy, balanced lifestyle. Or some people are like me and just want to travel the world. So I merged from sort of the corporate world to online business coaching about 1.5 years ago, and I struggled a lot in the beginning. I sort of did what I like to call spaghetti marketing, as in I just threw a bunch of stuff out there to see what stuck. And let me tell you, that was a big mistake. You know, I quickly learned, you know, kind of what I preach now is that if you market to everyone, you market to no one. And I found that to be very true very quickly. And it wasn't until I decided to get really focused and to find a niche offering where there wasn't a lot of business coaching going on. You know, the market really was being underserved in that area, and really market solely to them and communicate solely to them. Once I did that and I found my niche, things really just began to boom. And I also decided to lay out a marketing and promotion calendar for the next 2 years. And I just decided to stick to it, to take massive, consistent action every day and to not give up. And to offer a lot of value to my market and to follow up and deliver on my value. So that is my story. I've had really an overwhelming amount of success in the last year, and you know, I couldn't be happier with the clients I work with and their results, and just seeing them grow and flourish. It brings me a lot of joy. So let's get started without further ado. So we're going to talk about how to find a profitable niche, you know, which is part of my journey and what I help my clients do as well. And then we're going to learn, how do you figure out what you should price it as? You know, how do you figure out what pricing would be profitable for you while also offering a product, program, or service that your market is willing to buy, is willing to pay for? So how do we do that? One of my favorite tools is Google Keyword Tool. And you know, you can use this and not use Google AdWords. If you don't already have a Google AdWord account or a Gmail account, they will ask you to set up an account, and you can go through, do that, and they'll ask you to set up an ad. You don't have to run the ad. You can set it up. You know, don't spend a lot of time doing it, because you're not going to run the ad. But then once you are in there and in your account, just pause the ad or delete the ad, so you can utilize the Google keyword tool. And the reason I have you do this instead of using some of the other keyword tools out there, because there are other tools, but Google keyword tool is by far, in my opinion, the most extensive and useful tool for doing market research and niche research that there is on the market that I've come across that's for free. Google is the largest search engine that we have right now, and to really use a keyword tool that Google has put out is really kind of where you want to be at. It's the tool that you want to use, I think. So go ahead, set up that account if you haven't already, and then you'll have the access to the keyword tool. And what I've done is I've given us some examples to work through and to look at. So when you first open your account, and you'll want to click on keyword searching. So you want to type in a bunch of keywords. So I was just curious about the fitness industry. It's January. Everyone has all these New Year's resolutions going on, right? So I was like, well, let's see what's going on in the fitness industry. I'm also a yoga teacher, so I definitely have an interest in the health and wellness arena. So the keywords I typed in just to kind of see what was up, and what kind of competition there was and what kind of search volume there was. I did fitness, I did wellness coaches, health coaches, personal trainers, and then I said I wanted to look in the US and click to go. Okay, so, and this is what came up. And Google will give you a bunch of ad groups, and what that is so you can see my ad group here is fitness. And then within this ad group, there's a bunch of keyword terms like fitness tips, fitness equipment, fitness training, etc. So you'll see that there's, you can drill down, so to speak, with the Google keyword tool. You can look at the ad groups, and then you can look at the keywords within the ad groups. So these are the keywords within the fitness ad group. The reason I chose the fitness ad group was because it had a lot of monthly searches, and the competition was low, and the suggested bid wasn't crazy high. It wasn't like $8. It was a couple bucks. I go, well, that's kind of interesting. Not a lot of competition, a lot of monthly searches, not really high bids. So I said, well, let's just explore that a little bit more. So here are the keywords: fitness tips, fitness equipment, and you can see them on the screen. And when we're looking for a niche market, we really want to look at high monthly searches, but with a low or medium competition. So I like to say anything over 1,500, 2,000 is worth exploring a little bit more in terms of monthly searches. If you have 1,500 to 2,000 or above monthly searches, it's worth looking into. So what I do from there, okay, let's just take this fitness equipment. That number stands out to me, right? The 12,000, but the competition is high. Now what that tells me is there's probably going to be some really big names, big companies that I'm going to be competing with that probably have a really big ad budget, and that I might not want to go into that arena, right? Because, well, no competition isn't necessarily good. Really high competition for a very small business, we kind of want to shy away from that. Okay, but then I see muscle fitness here has 3,600 average monthly searches, and it's a low competitive environment. The suggested bid isn't quite $2. So, well, that's kind of interesting to me. That might be worth exploring a little bit more, as well as fitness tips might be worth exploring. So once we find a keyword that we're interested in doing a little bit more research on, then what we do is we go to Google and we Google. And in this case, what I did is I took muscle fitness, 3,600 searches, low competition. I said, okay, well, let's Google that and see what pops up. All right, so we have one ad. There's only one advertiser on Google right now that's using that particular keyword, and that's Daily Burn. Now, Daily Burn is in a lot of fitness-related keyword searches. They come up a lot. They have fitness that, it sort of runs the gamut. They have, CrossFit type fitness. They have yoga. They have Pilates. They have a lot of different types of fitness. So they're not, they're not necessarily niche-oriented. We have this muscle and fitness hers. And from here, what I would do is I would click on the top 5 or 10, as well as any companies that are using ads, and just explore them, see what they're about, see who they're targeting, see what they're offering, see what kind of prices they have on their products, programs, or services. Just do a little bit of research here, a little bit of exploration, so you can see kind of what kind of competitive environment and what kind of pricing market and environment there is for this particular keyword. And then from here, we go to Google Trends. You can type in your keyword and it'll bring up the market trends that Google has seen in the past and then to the current time. So you can kind of see, is it going up? Is the interest going up? Is it going down? Is it flatlining? Things like that. So, and once you get here, you can type in several keywords. So what I did is I went back and I just looked at, some of the higher ones. So I picked female fitness, muscle fitness, and I think fitness tips. Yep. So those were some of the ones that piqued my interest in terms of monthly searches and competition. So low competition and a decent amount of monthly searches. Like, again, we're looking for a niche market. So we're not necessarily going to be targeting as many individuals as you would with a very broad market, but the intention is that we create a niche offering that speaks specifically to them, and we really find an area in that market that is underserved to really capitalize on. And as we can see, so muscle fitness is it's kind of going down. 2005 it kind of peaked, and then from there it steadily declined. The female fitness is going up a little bit, and the yellow, the fitness tips, is it's been about the same over time, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Staying the same isn't necessarily a bad thing, but in this case, I would probably look at muscle fitness and female fitness. Also on Google Trends, it separates it out by regional interest. So, and you can see here I have the female fitness selected. And if we were to click on fitness tips and muscle fitness, it would bring up the regional interest for those too. So for example, for female fitness, we can see Australia, South Africa, US, and Canada are the top 4 countries that have a lot of interest, that have a lot of such searches every month for that particular keyword. So those countries are really interested in female fitness. Now, if you just wanted to focus on the US, what you could do is you could click on the United States there, and it would then bring up cities, cities within the US where there were a lot of keyword searches for that term. And so then maybe in your advertising, you could focus on those cities and be very strategic about it. And then it also gives you some related searches. So tips for fitness, health tips, health fitness tips are all other areas that we might want to explore. And so from what our research says, between the Google Trends, depending on what we find when we dig a little bit deeper into these companies and these businesses that came up on the Google search, and then what we find on the Google keyword tool, this will kind of give you an idea as to where to go in your niche market. You obviously want to pick a niche market that is of interest to you and where you have expertise, but also that it seems to be a profitable area. There seems to be people who are interested in that area. There seems to be low or a medium intensity competition, and it seems to be either remaining steady over time or increasing in terms of trends. And then from there, you really kind of have to decide, is this a niche I want to go into? And what types of offerings could I offer this niche? What are they interested in? And, that kind of goes into more, surveying the market and going onto social media sites, which we'll cover in a little bit, and exploring what their specific needs are. So then I wanted to do one more example for you for this. So for another example, again, going with the fitness, because I do work with health and wellness coaches and personal trainers, in addition to business coaches and solopreneurs, but, I do have that fitness clients that are really fitness oriented. So what I did is for typing in for the keywords, which is the first thing you do when you get into the keyword tool. I did fitness for women, prenatal fitness, muscle fitness women. And this is what came up. So we have fit women, plan for women, routines women, and these are all, I mean, they all have a lot of searches and they're all very low competition. So, you know, and this is an ad group, you know, so if we clicked onto this hyperlink, it would bring us down to keyword ideas. And so what I decided, I said, okay, well, this is interesting. We have pregnancy exercise, 8,000 searches a month, and the competition is low. And what you'll find is when you click on these ad groups and it brings you down to the keyword ideas, you know, sometimes the keywords within the ad group, they don't have as high of a monthly search as the group name. So for example, like fit women, if we were to click on that, the keywords within that group may not have as an appealing of a search volume as fit women, if that makes sense. So what I did is I went through a couple of them that had the high search volumes and the low competition and said, well, let's see, you know, what kind of keyword volume that they have. And what came out to be interesting was pregnancy exercises. Pregnancy exercises. So I clicked on pregnancy exercises, and there's a couple interesting keywords here. So, you know, not only does the group pregnancy exercises have a lot of monthly searches, low competition, we have pregnancy exercises, of course, exercise during pregnancy, that they're low competition and a pretty good amount of monthly searches. So I was like, well, this is probably worth exploring. And, you know, when you're doing your niche research and your market research, it's a lot of, you know, it takes some time. You know, there's a lot of digging that needs to be done and drilling down and saying, well, is this a good idea? Is that a good idea? You know, it does. It takes some time, but it's definitely worth it. You know, building a business, I say, is 80% market research. And once you have that, if you have solid market research and you know you're going into a profitable niche, the rest, I'm not going to say is easy, but the research and the work you've already done makes it a lot easier. So from here, I said, well, let's explore pregnancy exercises. And this is what came up when I did that Google search for pregnancy exercises. There's one ad, and then it seems that there's a lot of information from free sites, right? So like Mayo Clinic, Fit Pregnancy, which is a magazine, Baby Center. So to me, that's interesting. There's one ad, and there's a bunch of free resources. So if there seems to be an abundance of free resources for people, are they necessarily willing to pay? We don't know that yet. It's something to keep in the back of your mind as we do more research and as we go to the market and ask, right? So, and then what I did for the trends is I took a handful of keywords from the ad group, plugged them into the Google Trends, right, just to see where what the interest has been over the years, and then where the interest is going. So I would say that prenatal exercise, I think, the green, so prenatal exercise is looking like, you know, it's not necessarily the highest. Well, the green and the yellow are pretty close in terms of interest over time. And that's pregnancy exercise, prenatal exercise. They're pretty close. So people are looking for how they can exercises that would work for them while they're pregnant. And it has its ups and downs, but overall it seems to remain relatively steady. And right now it seems to be having another spike in interest. Okay, so then you can click on any of the, you know, I would really drill down in the Google Trends with the yellow and the green. And so let's just take green, for example, prenatal yoga. It's really intense in Canada and the US. I personally like to stick with English-speaking countries because I don't speak another language fluently. If you do, definitely, you could really expand into a Spanish-speaking market, things like that. But I always like to stick with English-speaking countries. So for me, for example, if I was doing this for myself, Canada and the US, okay, well, that's interesting. And I would probably click on both of them to see what cities have the most search volume. And then here's the related searches related to prenatal yoga, yoga pregnancy, prenatal classes. Nothing too shocking there. So let's just review kind of the process here. And I should say that this training really is an overview. It doesn't go really detailed into each step. It's more of an overview to give you an idea of where to start. So we start with the Google keyword tool. Search for keywords that are related to your experience, your current business, or your area of interest, because you obviously want to have a business that is of interest to you and that you have experience and expertise in. And that will give you some options once you plug that into Google keyword tool. We're looking for something that has low to medium competition and at least 1,500 monthly searches, because again, we're looking for that niche market. Then we take, and you can do this, I would do it for more than one. Do it for 3 to 5 of the keywords that you think are worth looking into. Google search it, see what other companies are running ads, see the top 5 or 10 companies that pop up on the Google search, and then do some more research. Really, visit their website, see their price points, see what products, services, and programs they're offering, things like that. And then from there, you can take, your handful of keywords, put them into Google Trends, see what the trend has been over time, see what countries and cities are really searching for those keywords, and then it'll give you some additional queries to look into. Okay, I'm going to give you just a couple seconds to finish jotting down any notes you might be taking. All right. So let's talk about social media for a little bit. And again, this isn't necessarily a social media marketing training, but I wanted to give you guys some overview of kind of big social media platforms, and depending on your target market, your niche market, who you decide to serve, where you should be. So let's talk about Facebook for a minute. Facebook is the most widely used social media platform out of all of them. The most online users, the highest percentage of online users are on Facebook. So Facebook is a great way to really reach any consumer or any kind of business. It's a great platform to use. If you're starting out with social media marketing, I recommend starting on Facebook. It's a great platform to start with, to get your feet wet and to really build your business and build your list of interested customers. So actually, this is interesting to me, a large percentage of baby boomers are on Facebook. I know, it's shocking, right? Well, they're on there looking at pictures of their grandkids, right? So if you are targeting the baby boomer generation, surprisingly enough, Facebook is a great way to do it. On average, however, the average Facebook user is 25-year-old female living in a big city. So she's an urbanite with a college degree and household income of at least $75,000. So, she's educated. She is in her mid-20s, urbanite, like I said. That's your average user. That being said, you can really find almost any target market on Facebook. There's such a vast array of users and age groups and interests. It really is a great platform to be on and to start marketing with. Twitter, as you might expect, has a little bit younger users. They're 20 to 35. They have somewhat college experience or a bachelor's degree and an income of at least 60. So they're younger. They're younger than your average Facebook user, a little bit younger, and they have some college experience or a bachelor's degree. And as you might expect, their income is a little bit less. So if you're really targeting people in their 20s and their early 20s, people who are young and well versed in technology and social media, Twitter is kind of where you want to be at. LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is if you are doing business to business marketing, LinkedIn is definitely a great resource for you. The people that are on LinkedIn are affluent business people, 30 to 50, looking to further their career or business. So they're in their prime working years. They're in their prime career years, their prime business years, whatever have you. They have an income of 100K or more. And like I said, it's great for B2B marketing, business to business. So if you're a business targeting other business owners, LinkedIn is a great resource for you. In addition to Facebook, I would say. And, I get asked a lot about Pinterest. And, a lot of people have had success marketing on Pinterest. I'm not saying to shy away from Pinterest. For those of you who are well versed in the online coaching arena, Melanie Duncan, she every time you hear her talk, it's about Pinterest and how to market on Pinterest. She has really kind of made her name around pinning and how to do that for your business profitably. So, I don't want to discount it too much, but the majority of users are moms. They're looking for recipes, fashion, do-it-yourself, or healthy living advice. So, I get a lot of clients who are in sort of the healthy living arena, whether it be through exercise or nutrition, just that whole umbrella of healthy living. And I get asked about Pinterest a lot. Pinterest and Pinterest users are heavy on free advice. So if you do want to market on Pinterest, if you want to go into the promotion of the pins and kind of go that avenue, I would promote lower price point products, and I would say $100 or less. I really wouldn't market your higher end products on Pinterest. I just don't know that it would be, I just don't think it would be fruitful. But, like I said, that is my own personal opinion. But that is definitely, if you want to target moms, cooking, fashion, DIY, healthy living, the users on Pinterest are looking for that information, but oftentimes they're not in a buying mode when they're on there. They're on a, just free information kind of mode, free exchange of information. So, when you're using your marketing dollars online and on social media, you really want to make sure you're targeting people who are in that buying mode, that are interested in purchasing something. Okay, so let's look at your breakdown of your 100K year. And you're on this hangout, so I'm assuming most of you are interested in building your business to 100K or building your business to that next 100K. So we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to break down sort of mathematically how that looks. So as an example, and so you then know how to take your own income goal, your own price points of your products, and figure out how much you need to sell what. Okay, so I would recommend having 2 to 3 programs, products, and services a year. If you've been in business for a while and maybe you already have a group program, maybe you already have a one-on-one program, if you've been in business for a little bit, you could bump it up to 4 programs, products or services a year. I wouldn't go any higher than that, just because you are going to feel like you are always launching a program, and it's going to become tiring, and you're going to get exhausted. So and the point of building a successful business is so you don't necessarily feel like a slave to the business, and that's what we're going to talk about in the next slide. So 2 to 3 programs is my suggestion. I would suggest an information product, a group program, and a high-end one-on-one program. You can also do a combination of those. You could have an information product component, a group component, and then a one-on-one component to one program or one product. But as a general rule, that's kind of the parameters I like to set. An info product that you can, kind of sell on demand and set up an automated marketing machine for you that just sells it for you basically, and kind of automate that product and just focus really your time and effort on your group program and one-on-one program. That is going to be more time intensive for you. And like I said, one-on-one programs should be high-end and offer high-end perks. How do you figure out pricing? This is where we look at the competitors. Once you figure out what niche you want to be in and that you identify that profitable niche, look at the competitors, see what they're pricing their products and programs at, and then price it accordingly. So when I say high-end perks, what I mean by that is, for example, say you have a high-end one-on-one program where you're working with people, just you two, the client, and then you're working with them one-on-one to solve whatever obstacle they're facing either in their life or their business. And because of that really individualized attention, the individualized program, you're going to charge more, but you also want to give them high-end perks. So these type of programs is when you can throw in a complimentary retreat, for example, and not necessarily that you pay for everything. Maybe you pay for the hotel and the offerings that you give, the coaching that you give, or the workout routines, or whatever you're offering at that retreat, that is inclusive, as well as maybe you pay for their lodging, but they have to cover their meals and their airfare type of thing. But when you're marketing your one-on-one program to people, that seems like a really big bonus. And, it's a good way to get people to purchase from you. All right. So let's look at the actual breakdown of what 100K a year looks like, kind of where the rubber meets the road, if you will. So where I like to start is I like to start in the one-on-one program and the group program, and then fill in the gap with the information product, and then kind of see where we're at. So I've done an example for a coaching program. You're going to be coaching on really any topic. It could be a business coach, it could be a health and wellness coach, it could be personal training. You're working and coaching people through either a problem or an obstacle, or something that they're struggling with in their life or business. I mean, you could be coaching other health and wellness coaches. So for a one-on-one program, I put the price point at $497 a month, and we're going to max it out at 6 people. Now, some coaches work with 8, some work with 10. It really depends on your experience and your comfort level with how many people you want to work with that intensely. But I'd say 5 or 6 is a good number to start out with if you've never done one-on-one coaching or a one-on-one type of program before. That is $29.82 a month, and then that figures out to almost $36,000 a year. So when I say it max out at 6 people, your one-on-one program should be 6 to 12 months. So you're either going to run it twice a year, so you'll work with a total of 12 people that year, but 6 people in each group. Or if it's a 12-month program, you're only going to work with 6 people throughout the whole year. So one of the reasons why the one-on-one program is also a little bit more doable in terms of getting people into the program, recruiting people into the program, and getting people to say yes, is you only have to get 6 people over the course of the year. It's not, you're not getting the 6 people all in January. You could start promoting it in January, but over the course of the year, you would eventually build up to those 6 people. So that's why, a lot of my clients, I suggest they start out with the one-on-one program, because it's a good way to sort of start building your business. And we'll get into that in the next slide. And then a group program maxes out at 15 people. For group programs, and this is very individualized, so kind of just know that this is an example. And your own numbers and own price points for your products or programs might be very different. But I like to work with, when I'm doing just solely a group program, I like to do it or max it out at 25. But when I first started out, and when I'm working with clients, when they're first starting out, I recommend 15. Keep it a little bit smaller your first run, see how it goes, and then you can bump it up next time, but you don't want to be overwhelmed. So $197 a month is not astronomical for group programs, especially sort of in the coaching arena, health, wellness, personal training, things like that. So that is almost $3,000 a month. Once you get the 15 people, $3,500 a year. Now this group program, since it's $197 a month, we're running it for the whole year. So people are committing to a year in the group program. All right, so what I did at this point is I added up the yearly amounts for my one-on-one program and my group program, and then said, okay, well, how much more do I need to meet 100K? And I took that number, divided it by a $97 price point information product, and figured out that that came to 25 products a month. And you could easily have a $197 or a $297 information product too, and therefore you'd have to sell less. But just for this example, $97 for the information product. And then what I do is, after I figure this out, or after I work with my client to figure this out, is we look at it and say, okay, well, how do we feel about this? Your one-on-one program brings in about as much a month as your group program, but one-on-one programs over a monthly basis can be a little bit more time intense, but in terms of marketing, they don't take as much money or as much effort upfront, because it's ongoing and you don't have to get as many people in the program. So, you have to just kind of decide for yourself, what program would you rather do? Do you want to maybe not do a one-on-one program and just recruit more people into your group program? Do you want to work with more people one-on-one and nix the group program for now? Or do you want to do both and maybe increase the information product so you don't have to sell 25 a month? I will say, when you're starting out, 25 information products a month is a lot. So maybe we create an information product that has more value, therefore we can charge more, we don't have to sell as many. And so that's sort of how you get to 100K a year. And if your goal was 200K or 250, the math is the same once you figure out your price points, and once you figure out how many people you want to have in your programs and how many people you want to work one-on-one with. And from there, you kind of have to fiddle with it a little bit. Do you think it's possible to sell 25 information products a month? Do we need to increase that price point, so we need to sell less a month? Or maybe we just want to do a group program and we include more people? It's when we're figuring this out, it's very individualized to not only your niche, but to you yourself as a business owner. So it's very individualized when we do figure this out. But this is a good example, and you should be able to take this and apply it to your own business. All right, so now that we have the breakdown of how much we need to sell of what, let's talk about marketing tactics and visibility strategies. So, how are we going to let people know about ourselves, our business, and what we're offering? I like to do it through hangouts like this, webinars, and then follow up with the people that have registered for your hangout and webinar through a video series. I like to use, like we went over before on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+, if you're doing hangouts, LinkedIn, Facebook ads, and guest blogging. These are all great ways to increase your visibility and to help build registrations for your marketing tactics, for your hangouts, for your webinars, things like that. All right, so let's talk about promotion. Like I said, when I'm working with people, I tend to suggest that they start with their one-on-one program. because you don't have to recruit, the 15, 20, 25 people all up front for your group program, like you would for the group program. And with the one-on-one program, it's easier to get one person to say yes at a time and that is an easy way to get revenue into your business. So when we're thinking about 2015 as a whole, for the whole year, the first 3 quarters, I suggest doing 2 Google Hangouts or webinars a month and use the same format for a quarter and then do a new one. So, pick a topic and what you're going to talk about, what you're going to present, what kind of information and value are you going to give the people who register for your Hangout or webinar. Do that for 3 months, for the whole quarter. You're going to be doing it twice a month for 3 months. And then you're going to develop a new one. And the reason I say this is probably because who you're marketing to, if you're marketing on Facebook or LinkedIn or, to your email list, people are going to get sick of the same Hangout after a while. You want to mix it up. And on your Hangouts or webinars for the first 3 quarters, you want to pitch your one-on-one program. So try to get people to sign up for your one-on-one program. And then after the Hangout or webinar, you're going to follow up with an email series, and I would do it through videos. So, introducing yourself, adding more value, teaching on another topic, really just bring home the value. And people buy from people they know, like, and trust. And video is a great way to do that. It's a great way to build rapport with your list. And it's a great way to get people who may not have been ready to purchase from you on the Hangout or webinar, but it's a great way to get them to be ready, maybe by the next week after they've gone through that video series. And use the same format for every Hangout or webinar you use. All right, and then we have quarter 4. So this is towards the end of the year, right? So September, it'd be October, November, December. You want to still do the 2 Hangouts or your webinars a month. That hasn't really changed. By quarter 4, you're going to be starting with a new topic, though. And then by the 4th quarter, this is where you can launch your group program. By now, your individual one-on-one coaching should be full. And you should be ready to launch your group program. By now, you will have built enough momentum. You're going to it'll kind of seem like, boom, you come out of nowhere. You will have had the momentum, and you'll have the list, you'll have the social media following to really just explode and recruit for your group program. So if you follow this plan, by quarter 4, you should have the 5,000 to 10,000 email subscriber list, and then be able to launch the group program from that list, basically, and from the people who are on your Hangouts and webinars. A great follow-up to your group program is that info product that we talked about before. To launch that, this is a great, info products are a great Cyber Monday sale after Thanksgiving, and a great New Year's sale. Sell it before the new year or right after, and really leave 2015 with a bang. The info product, you could use the webinars or the Hangouts, for example, those 4 Hangouts or 4 webinars that you've created over there. You could use that as an information product. You could use bits and pieces of the Hangouts and the information you're giving away in your group program. You could package that together into an information product. There's a lot the possibilities are really endless with an information product. But the possibilities are endless with the group program and one-on-one coaching. It really is just getting creative and really knowing your niche. All right. So if you have taken in this information, I know it was a lot. I know I gave you a lot of information, and I hope you're not too overwhelmed because it was a lot of info. But if you've taken this information in and you're thinking, gee, I would really like to delve a little bit deeper. I'd like to, have some help with identifying a profitable niche. I'd like to have some help in developing Facebook ads. I'd like to, really go deeper into pricing my programs, products, and services. And I'd like to have some assistance with creating what's actually going to be included in my products, programs, or services. What exactly am I going to be offering to my niche market? What does that look like? And, and I will say that this is where 90% of people go wrong, is they don't have a meaningful marketing message. So they might have found a profitable niche. They might have their marketing and promotion calendar all set. They may be really marketing on social media and Facebook and doing their hangouts, doing their webinars, really putting in a lot of effort. But if your messaging is off, if you're not speaking the correct message to what your niche market needs to hear, all of your efforts will be lost. So if you're really thinking, I really want to nail 2015, I really want to just propel my business forward, bring it to the next level, and make it 100K a year, then I would suggest enrolling in Propel Business Bootcamp. You get over 15 hours of videos, 8 group coaching calls, and 8 one-on-one coaching calls with either myself or my technology partner, who is a guru in SEO and free lead generation online. He really is just, he has a vast of knowledge to share. So you can use your coaching calls with him as well. And you also get access to a private mastermind group on Facebook that not only includes people from the group, but also experts in the industry. You get the technology expert, you get myself, a marketing strategy expert, you get access to a social media marketing expert, access to an accountant to talk about taxes and deductions, and you get lifetime access to the videos and to the mastermind group, okay? But there's more. So if you register in the next 48 hours, I'm going to give you an additional 2 hours of coaching, so 10 in total, and I'm going to give you access to everything I create in 2015. So any product, any program, anything that I create in 2015, you'll get access to it. There are 10 spots in the group program. There's 5 left. So with these bonuses, it is a $10,000 value. You essentially get a year-long program for 1 payment of $19.97 or 4 payments of $5.97. So like I said, if you are committed to getting more clients than you ever have before in 2015, propelling your business forward to that 6-figure mark, and you really want someone to work with you on an individual basis and help you determine and identify what kind of strategy and promotion plan and programs, products, and services are going to work for your business and your niche market, and you really need to get a spot in Propel Business Bootcamp. I will work with you to develop that meaningful marketing message that is so important to being successful. We'll help you find that profitable niche. We'll help you create your programs throughout the year and really make sure your messaging is on target and that your social media presence is on target. We are really committed to taking you from where you are to where you want to be in this program. So if you are interested in joining, you can go to my website, hannahmanjett.com/propelbusinessbootcamp. Okay, so now if you're thinking, well, not quite ready to sign up right now, I have some questions and I want to see if this is a really good fit for me, no problem. You can schedule a 30-minute strategy call with me. I've opened up some slots for tomorrow and Friday, so you can get in a strategy call before that 48-hour bonus is gone. Just go to hmanjett.appointee.com. All right, let me go back to just looking at y'all. Okay, so if you guys have any questions, like I said, feel free to put it in the Q&A. And also, I'm going to be giving away a free 1-hour coaching session. And I know that there are some people watching this on my website, and I want to include you all in the call or in the pool as well. So I'm going to put the people who are viewing this on my website as well as people who are on the hangout, and I'm going to draw a name to get the free 1-hour coaching session. All right, so like I said, if you have any questions at all, sign up for that strategy call. I'm going to put a link on my website for it where you're viewing this. If you're on my website, I'm also going to put a link for it in the Google Hangout event area. All right, guys, thank you so much. I hope you found it valuable. Please feel free, comment, like, send me some feedback on Facebook or through my website. I'd love to hear from you guys. I love to hear what worked, what didn't, what you enjoyed, what you found valuable, things like that, so I can improve and better meet your needs. All right, so have a fabulous evening, and I will talk to you soon.